Well, hello. My name's Bill Scarborough, and this is my wife, Dacia. We are from Jessup, Georgia. We attend the Jessup campus of the Church of 1122, and we try to serve our community as best as we can, doing the many activities that are around and available, not just through church, but just because it's a pretty great community.
So I was a speech pathologist for about 20 years. Came home when we had our first son in 2001. Homeschooled, been at home most of those years, and
About 20.
yeah, went back to work this year, so it's been kind of an adjustment. We still have two at home, two that have graduated, and one lives in South Carolina, and one is at Middle Georgia doing aviation.
And then one in South Carolina has got her sights set on New Zealand.
Yeah, she
That's
just
her
applied
next
for a
step.
Bible school in New Zealand. So then we have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old at home, and that's fun. They're swimmers. I coach swim. I teach swim. So I don't know. That's kind of my life. So I knew a little bit about Quarter 3 because I followed Amaris's journey pretty closely and just felt called to really pray over the Bedfords a lot while she was still here and after she has gone to heaven. And I saw them on, I think, the tail end of one of these fundraisers. There was like a big night where they were doing calls and raising money or something. And so that was, I think, when I first kind of noticed the Grace Race stuff too. So I've seen both seasons.
I haven't.
And I did, like, we downloaded some episodes for him and the children to watch when Ray talked to us about it. So, and I think that night was the first time I became a donor myself. So it's just, I think it's important. You know, we've had instances in our life where we have needed something. I mean, and knew Quarter 3 was available. If we got to that point, we luckily did not so far, but it's just important. I think it's a great mission, so that was it. And then we literally signed up to do this race because we're so busy. We don't do date nights a whole lot, so we thought it's a full Saturday every month.
Truth
Hopefully
comes
we
out.
don't kill each other or die in the process, but we thought we've always enjoyed doing things. We love the outdoors. So it's kind of a date night for us a little bit, or a date day once a month.
Call me uncreative.
So there you go.
If I could describe our team in 3 words, it would definitely be well-versed, because we have been through the school of hard knocks together.
So we said perseverance.
Yeah.
Was one.
Definitely.
We're
trust.
adventurous.
Yeah. Well, that's more than 3, so
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Yeah. So I grew up in Jessup and left when I graduated in 87. That would be 1987. And we lived away for a very long time. And so I never thought I'd move back to Jessup, and just circumstances got us back there, and I hated it. But my granny was there, and she was kind of like just this peaceful place, and we spent a lot of time with her. And so my grandparents were early in the church. I was raised in the Church of God. They were early in the Church of God. I can remember, our whole family will talk about my granddaddy. He was a farmer, and he would come in at lunch, eat, lay on the porch to rest a little, or you would hear him praying in the barn. You would hear him praying at night. He prayed very loudly. But I know that those prayers, continued on for all of us. And then, so that was an influence on us, having my granny in our lives a lot during that time. The kids were small. We would just literally sit around and talk about the Bible. And I had some aunts that would come over too. So it was great for me, learning. And then my kids were at their feet too. So there's that. My parents
not
are...
Mr. Connie.
Yeah, and then my granddaddy died in the 80s, but it was my granny. But anyways, but his legacy too. And then my parents were very strong in their faith growing up. Church was important, faith was important. I didn't always do like I should. And then about in our 30s, I guess, we actually began to walk with the Lord personally hard.
Yeah.
Run hard after the Lord. And so raised our kids that way. Very important that our kids listen. I homeschool, and honestly, academics is not the most important thing in our home. It really isn't. And my kids know it. You know, their relationship with the Lord is what we've pushed hard for, and teaching them about the Lord. So I feel like those things have been passed down through from there at least.
Well, I definitely agree with everything. I wanted to make sure and say that her parents have been a huge influence on me. But there was something about Granny that made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. And, that was important to me, being in a brand new place. I grew up in Virginia Beach, and my mom was a big influence on me. But Granny Lane, I think, was the glue that held the family together. And it was...
Her faith was strong, for sure.
Just to know what she's gone through, too, as a woman.
She was a widow for probably close to 30 years and had a very strong faith all the way to the 94th year, So.
We have a passion to raise our kids, and we're getting close to where they're not going to be at the house anymore. And like we said earlier, this is a great opportunity to date each other. And
I think too, I think we both do have a passion, for the Lord, and we've tried to center a lot around that. And I think, listen, we've been through some stuff, and we've just learned through those things that we can trust the Lord. And even there are times when you think, I trust the Lord, and then you have an adult son that's going through some hard things, and you think, God, do I really trust the Lord? You go back on your knees and you learn how to trust the Lord in that place, So I do think I think we're both passionate about people. We joke about, we don't travel as much now, but I had a business about 10 years ago, and we traveled a lot with that, and we joke because Uber drivers just don't have a chance with us. We both like to talk. We both like to ask questions. We both like to hear people's stories. So we are passionate about people. I think we're pretty passionate about life. We enjoy life. We do laugh a lot. So I think we do have some passion about that too. Those kinds of things outside of our kids.
The way we support and lift each other up in different times varies. I mean, it's a situational thing, at least for me. I mean, that's really a broad question. I think I think when we were talking through it, just looking at the questions, I think one of the things that we are pretty good at is we do have a lot of differences in our personalities. And so I feel like we have come to a place where we do, if he's down, I just happen to be able to not be down and can, and opposite. If I'm struggling, he just happens to not be at that point. He's pretty solid. So and we have a lot of conversations, and I think that helps too. Just talking through stuff helps each other, just walk through the things. So. Yeah, I think we study each other pretty well. It's important, to know when to, go after a topic or not.
I like to win.
Yeah.
What brings out my competitive spirit? I do like to win. I like to win. I do. Even with the kids, I never let the kids win, even when they were little. They had to beat me.
Serious.
I mean, and they got to be good at games.
She gets all quiet. Just be careful when she gets quiet. She's not ready to
like
win a boom.
I'm not gonna lie. I like to be number one.
And me, I'm ready. The message that I have for the other teams in this year's Grace Race is this. We look forward to getting to know you and raising a bunch of money and having a good time while we're doing it. And this is going to be a super year. Looking forward to it.
Super good.